Hello everybody, this is Q Business Talks. Today we have here with me Remy from Stepathlon. Remy, welcome to my little show. When you and I met, I always liked what you guys are doing. When I actually met the company the first time and when I heard, even before I met you from my colleagues, what you guys are doing, I was like, wow, what a wonderful idea. And it's awesome, how your company can change lives of so many people, but in a very direct way. So please tell us what is so fascinating and why I was so fascinating. What exactly do you do as a company?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your little show, as you call it. It's quite a production. At Stepathlon, we're basically using the concept that everyone's a fan of something to create a healthier, happier planet. So we organize virtual races with our clients, and our clients being rights holders of sporting rights mostly, but it can be brands and celebrities, anything. But for this example, think of a football club that wants to reach an audience outside of like match day. So a lot of football fans only engage with a football club on either the Saturday or the weekday that they play a game. And apart from that, they don't really engage with the club or the other fans of the club. What our product offers is a virtual race where fans can sign up and take part with friends and family and engage with the community to be healthier. The health element comes in from steps, so we reward people for being active, whether or not that's, I don't know, doing 10 laps through your garden, hoovering the house, going for a run, and all of that activity is put into the product, and we gamify sort of that experience, and people can unlock locations, people can win prizes, people can get rewards from fans and members of the community, and to really sort of engage with the club they love or the brand they love, the celebrity they love, whilst being fit and healthy in the process and being rewarded for it.
So people are basically getting some positive emotions. They're attaching to the brands they love, but also they're getting healthier. And you're making thousands and thousands of lives of people healthier every single month. This is a great thing. So what is your role? And how do you see your role changing in the future? Your role as a company, so obviously the world is changing and some new companies that are doing something similar to you are coming to the market. Where do you see this relationship between brands and fans? Where will this go in the next 10, 15 years from today?
I think there's definitely a trend and a movement of brands in general building up relationships directly with customers. I think aggregation and network effect is still powerful, but you see a lot of brands starting to sort of cut out the middleman. They want to own the customer directly because they're able to activate those customers much better. I think the flip side is privacy concerns. I think a survey ran a year ago. 86% of consumers cited privacy online as a concern, and I think those are reasons why the likes of Google are looking to abolish third-party cookies. The likes of Apple have really cracked down on brands and companies' abilities to track users across web activity. And I think we have a very unique opportunity there, where we, on the basis of someone being a fan and therefore being therefore willing to share information, we can really build up clean, accurate, and ethically sourced data on those consumers, and enable brands to talk to those consumers directly. We know what their interests are. We know who they engage with and what they engage with, and we can really create a much richer sort of insights into an audience than brands and rights holders and individuals would be able to get access to in any other ways.
What are these brands? We are talking about football clubs, about sport brands. What are these brands that could potentially in the future?
Yeah, the rights holders are very much like the football clubs, the leagues, the organized leagues of a similar sport. Brands, we're really talking about consumer brands, so fast-moving consumer goods, or I think anything from fashion brands to car brands to all sorts of other things. They more and more want to own the customer directly, have a direct relationship with the customer. It's great for I don't know, for a particular brand to buy rights on, say, a Formula One car, but if that gives them exposure that they can't really translate into an actionable audience, then that's really no good for them anymore. So I think that's a shift from broadcast media and broadcast advertising to really understanding your consumer and being able to action that, and that's where we can play a great role connecting those dots.
And what kind of role does Q play? How does Q fit in? What are we doing together? If you can say just a few words about that, about our marriage, our partnership.
Our partnership sort of started on the back of the rare occasion that I answered an email that I got from your colleague Vedran, and we got talking about initially sourcing some customer experience and UX design resources. And as soon as we started talking, it dawned upon me that there was much more that you guys do. And so it began. So we spent a month together, of which the first week I was actually in this very office to really get into the weeds of what we wanted to create. Because rebuilding a platform or a product that exists on paper sounds great because you know what you're aiming for. But from my experience, you're better off treating it like a greenfield project because you have to redefine everything from scratch. And that's what we did in the first month, really work through an intense discovery phase to document all the user journeys and all the scenarios, all the edge cases, all the technology requirements, all the non-functional requirements, and really came with a great approach of, okay, this is the product we want to build. We then sort of moved from that discovery phase into the build phase. So as I said, rebuilding from the ground up. It's new AWS infrastructure. It's a new API first approach to the platform. There's a new sort of client and race management console that is being put together. Brand new apps that we can create and put into the market as a digital asset for our clients. And finally, an integrated solution that allows us to offer our product experience embedded into someone else's existing digital product, which is something that we see more and more being in demand. And a sports club will already have an app via which they sell tickets or keep people abreast of the live scores. But as I said at the beginning of our conversation, as soon as the match is over, there's no reason for fans to be in that app. And by integrating our virtual challenge into virtual race into their app, all of a sudden they have like round the clock, round the week, round the month, round the season engagement with these fans. And yeah, that's some of the things you guys are working with us on, and we're making great progress on.
So you mentioned a lot of different areas, that we are working on together. Which areas do you find Q most reliable? Where do you see the biggest value that we are providing in all these aspects of us working together?
I think it's.
I want to know this as a CEO,
Well, I think it's initially very much the flexibility and the scalability. And we could start on engineering resources with really great experience, and we could easily scale up in that department. But we quickly sort of jointly realized that there were more things that we needed. So then a little bit of customer experience came on top of it. A little bit of strategy came on top of that. So it's just the constant sort of value add of how we can work together. I think the other thing that I'm really impressed by and really value is that everyone that I work with on a day-to-day basis is sort of shadowed by someone senior to provide guidance and mentorship and to help on the really hard problems. When we collectively as a team don't know which way to go, you guys can go away internally and sort of come back with a number of options based on projects you run in the past. And that is like invaluable for me to make sure that we end up with the right product.
Yeah, this is a very good feedback. Thank you for that. I'm going to pass this message to the CTO. He's always very proud that each and every person in Q has a very good mentor, somebody he can talk to, relate to, and I think this is a big, the words that you just said are a big confirmation that we succeeded in this, it's super important.
The last thing I want to add to that is that it's not just lip service. I see these people come to meetings, they sit through the discovery, I know who they are, I've spoken to them, I've met them. So I think that's really powerful, that it's one thing saying that support is there. It's a whole different thing when you experience it in person and meet these people. So
yeah, great. Thank you for that. It's a great comment. I don't want to take any more time from you. Thank you for coming to Zagreb. Thank you for finding the time to come to the interview. And now, please go back to our colleagues and be with them, because I know they appreciate a lot that you came, and I know that they love every time when you can talk to them. This is, very valuable. This communication between you and the team. So very, very happy that you are here. I'm sorry that I'm not there to see you in person, but we are going to see each other for sure very soon.
Well, thank you so much, and yeah, thanks for the hospitality. Everyone's been looking after me really, really well, and as you say, it's an invaluable kind of use of time to be together in the room with people and really get through a lot of work in a couple of days' time.
Great. Enjoy your time in Zagreb. Talk to you soon.
Thanks so much,
everybody. This was Q Business Talks. See you guys soon. Bye bye.